Okay. Uh, this is another video about my testimonials. As you can see, I make testimonials almost every day, and the reason why I do this is because I want to make sure that um, that before I can't, I speak as much as I can, say what I need to say, and provide my testimonials because this trash live into this purpose. Uh, let me just repeat things that I have said many times and continue to say. I know I'm a subject in this human experimentation, not even a human experimentation, but more of a developing of a technology and a program where the more samples, the more brain they have, the more people they can manipulate, the better it gets, right? It's just like any machine learning technology where the more it gets samples and things, and, like just like like Alexa or some, when they know much, if they have more information, they can become better and better. And so with target individuals, the same thing. They want more and more subjects because that means the technology is going to be more and more precise in manipulations, in controlling, in changing people. I'm sure that's, 20, 30 years ago, when this was still going on, the way we used to subject were manipulated was not as smooth as the way they can manipulate now. I think I'm sure that's why they continuously improve this thing, because they want to improve this technology, this weapon. And so with me, I understand that. I understand in this fashion how things are, and I understand this trash around me are part of this program where they try to make you get agitate you to get the result they want, to manipulate you emotionally, try to get you to accept these things, try to make you subscribe to things using the same old tactic, repetition, scripts, and things like that. But for me, my target and my purpose are some fraudulent trash. And they really want you to accept these things because they do these manipulations. You're being manipulated. As much as my brain is being manipulated and make me try to subscribe to this, I'm not. And every time they try to make me accept this, they like to slam the door. They like to make it like a stimuli of some sort, right? Because they're like, oh, you see, we saw this. Your thoughts is because my brain at this point is so manipulated by them. When I speak and I say I know I'm being manipulated in my thoughts, they are creating thoughts to make me think otherwise, right? I understand that's the technology. This is what this technology can do. I know I'm not aligned with my brain. You got to target individual. Do not subscribe to what's happening into your brain, because you are being manipulated by this technology that can rewire your brain in so many disturbing ways. This technology has the capability to go so deep in your consciousness and ability to manipulate you in such a deep way. It's so crazy, but that's what they do. They are disturbing, they are low life, but that's what they do. These people around you, do not be shocked but how unimpressive they are, but how sophisticated this technology is. This technology is so sophisticated that the individuals involved in it do not need to be the most sophisticated. I've understood that. So when they say things that I'm going to speak about or I'm going to say later on, I understand this is what this technology does. This is the capability of this technology. Now this person is a nobody, is a nothing. But he says or she says something that I'm going to say. That's what this technology is, that sophisticated. I understand these bottom feeders have also assigned to try to sound a certain way. You have these young people, I don't know how young, some of them sound like actually children, some are the very young adults, others just, and the women or young women or whatever they are, they try to sound in certain ways. Some try to sound very childish. We won. And there's also these guys who try to sound like menacing. I've seen these people, right? I'm not sure how much of it is, non-actual bots right? Or how much is it? But there's for sure people, actual humans, interacting via the V2K. I've seen them try to sound in person the same way they sound in V2K. It is super pathetic. It is so sad. You see a grown man or woman try to start something, yeah, we won't. And every time they do their nasty thing, they want to be this mysticful thing. To me, they just trash the government contracts. Low life bottom feeders. They might have seen they've seen me die, torture, but these bottom feeders have no idea what's gonna happen to them, and they're not living a lavish life. This is not a life that you would envy. Their job is to try to make you accept and break you down. They claim they're a war, they're not a war. They know actually that I'm just a subject. They're part of this program where they do these things to the subject to get these results which will improve this technology that they're continuously improving. That's their job. The subject has no way to do anything about it. He's a civilian. These people are employed by these government entities that are using military-grade weaponry and technology. They have unlimited resources, and their job is to do that. They're just the bottom feeders in this. See them as that. But of course, because they continuously interact with me, it's just disgusting. And you start like, give them a little bit more value than they actually have. They have no value. They're trash. They have no. They truly, and they like to see the word value is something they say. That's why I'm like, I stop there. But they have no, like, you give them more credits, more grandeur than they really have. They have no grandeur. They have nothing. They're nobodies. They like to call you a nobody, but they're trash. And I'm not saying it in the sense of wealth. And just like, just a pathetic low life. They try to make themselves be something that they're like grander than what they are. And I understand that. And it's funny, sometimes they're like, oh, they're gonna stab you, they're gonna use our knife. The knife was like, wow. They're using direct energy and all kind of like the most latest sophisticated weaponry that are unbelievable, and they talk about a knife. Like, you can buy that for $10. You understand? So these people are just, they want to live this deluded reality. And so they want you to accept these things. It's so nasty. I just want to talk about just 2 seconds ago. They can accentuate or increase your sense of touch or sense of feeling. It's so nasty. With me, they do these things every time they mess with me. I was looking at this woman. This typical kind of like Instagram model. A lot of plastic surgery thing done to her. But she just had like a baby. I remember I made a video not too long ago about this little girl that was next to her baby, and she was holding her hands. It was like very adorable little girl. They did some nasty things to me, as always. And I'm like, I don't even want to look at her. She's by herself, no child around. I was like, I don't, because they're gonna make me think of how they make me feel. But when I saw her little girl and whatever, so I'm trying to like change it. So I'm holding the back of my phone and I'm trying to change. As I'm holding, I'm feeling like my sense of touch there just like got increased. I was like, oh my gosh, and they started making me think, oh, it just gives you like the creeps. They do that it's some weird thing. They can make you feel more sensation that you naturally would feel. This part of this technology, they control your body in so many ways. So when they do that, it just like, it feels like a creepy, like it just feels, oh, and it just feels weird. And they've done that so many times where they play with my sense of touch. I remember when I was with my mouse, I sometimes do something in my mouse and then they try to bring up some nasty things, and then my sense of touch when I use my mouse, it's just like increased. It just gives me like the disturbing feeling. And that's what they did. It's like, oh, you see how you touch your back to the phone? It's like, oh, please. And it's so nasty. It's like, you guys make me feel like this. You make me feel like I wouldn't even feel like, before that was the same way. And because I was like holding back, and just when I swiped, the back of my finger just kind of went down. And it's like, ooh. It's like, you see, just felt the back on the phone when you're like, oh. And that's the things they do. I know it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make that much sense, but this is the way they kind of break you down. They play with this ability to intensify sense of touch. It's weird, but that's the thing they do. And so last night, I just, when you're a target individual and you go to sleep, when you have those deep sleeps, it's bad. for me, I know what it means. I realized that while I'm asleep, especially the deeper sleep, I do not wake up the same, and it becomes worse. I I feel like that my state of mind is easier is easily is even more manipulated, uh, and it's nasty. And so it's even I'm less I'm completely rewired to even worse extent. When they keep me up all night, I am super tired and very fatigued. But I don't think my brain is as rewired. It's just fatigue, just pure fatigue. Which also at this point you kind of become a little bit oof because you don't sleep. They keep you up with this disturbing psychological manipulations and torments to keep you up. And it's always some nasty. They can keep you up whatever whenever they want. You know, they can make you feel sleepy, they can make you feel alert, they can do all these things. This technology has so much control on the human body and the mind. It's unbelievable. That's why this trash feels so special. This bottom feeders involved in this, because the technology itself is unbelievable. You know, it gives them a sense of God when they're just nobodies. They have no control of what's going to happen to their life, but in your case, they can do so much to you. So, like I said, this empowers these low lives. But to be empowered doing these nasty things is just foul. And of course, things are gonna happen to them when the time comes. In the meantime, they have to enjoy this special time where they feel empowered and feel like gods, because this is gonna end at some point, and it's gonna end in a way that it's gonna be scary for them. Um, but last night I was listening to this guy. You know, like I said, I don't want to bring religion. I don't want to bring spirituality, but one cannot help but think there's some kind of like spiritual aspect of these things. And I'm not saying in the sense that, you know, like there's like they're actually the devil or whatever, or that, you know. I know, like I said earlier on, I know what this thing is about, but this feels biblical. It does. I know the reality. Like I said, I know this is technology at its highest level. This like godlike almost technology. But for me, it almost feels biblical. These people wanted me to subscribe to this nastiness in so many ways. They wanted to play this psyop of femme fatale, this woman that just protects children and do this, and are here to avenge for. They were trying to make it seem like they are, you know, like for what I did as a kid and this and that. And we try to exaggerate things I did as a child. And in the midst of doing that, not only I found out obviously that something I was going to find out, the target individuals, what they do to women and children, how nasty they are, how they do the pedophilia type of torture. What they do is systematic. It's like literally exactly what is happening to me. It has everything, even the sense of touch. I can right now find somebody who says the same thing about how they accentuate. I think this person said it way better than me, but they can accentuate your sense of touch. I can in When I discovered it's like 100 testimonials, almost everything I'm experienced was there. This woman literally said that and I should just see what she said, because she said in such a better way that they can create like an increased sense of feeling of touch, and she said that much better. So even that specifics, like everything has been said by others, showing that obviousness that what I'm experiencing is not unique to me, but this is systematically done. That's when you know this is really organized in a governmental, military grade level, because of the systematics of all of it. When you see the people around you, it's like these people cannot be doing like they obviously, you know, partake in this, and they go through the scripts and they say the same thing. But to add that, while they are here trying to make me subscribe to these pedophilia things, the embarrassment to find out, and it's crazy. And all along, I said that even before knowing this, like the people that will come up with these tactics to break people down, what kind of people are they? Who will come with these protocol ways of breaking down? Who, initially, I was like, they wouldn't do this kind of things. That's not, that's like, it almost made me feel like, no, this, I can't, like, maybe like, this, it's not possible that they would, like, they won't do that like this. This is not something they, like, to find out that they literally utilize pedophilia in these ways. Finding out people say pedophilia type of torture is what they're doing. Almost all target individuals are forced to, like, it's just systematically done. It's not like they're doing something to kind of hurt me, because I'm saying they do these systematic things to try to get you to think in these pedophilia ways, non-stop. It literally is a tactic. And when I found that, I was like, what kind of men and women will do these things? Like, what? Who comes up with these nasty ways of breaking people down? And guess what? Now they here try to counter reality. These people, these entities, really in charge. Not these bottom feeders next door that want to feel special and feel like they're grander, telling themselves it's our money, it's our project, we are doing it's special, like they obviously like this BS, right? And try to distort me by saying other things, leaving the little fantasy, saying, repeating things. All these repetition tactics, all these manipulations, all of this thing is orchestrated by entities involved in the DoD, CIA, DARPA, those kind of entities. The same entities have problem with pedophilia. And this trash who are trying to make you accept these nasty things, they make you feel and react, and these weird feelings and the thoughts, the stimulations, all of this weird shit. So these weird things they do. And you can see they start making me speak this way. I do curse in real life, but not on camera, because I want to keep this not cursing. They do these nasty things, stimulations, libido manipulation. They do these sensitive touches. That's kind of bizarre and just obviously like, oh, what the hell. And they do these things to try to get you to accept, to break you down, to accept these pedophilia things. The reason why I think this is almost biblical is because I've been praying. When you become a target individual, you become more spiritual too, because at this point you just ask God to give you strength. For me, all I've asked, and God has given me that strength in so many ways, and I need to go back to pray more, because I need to thank Him now when I still can, because I've asked and I've prayed. I never prayed to just give me, like, get me out of this. Like, I don't know if this has been, like, I just prayed, at least give me strength, and don't let these people involved in this program live in this disturbing fantasy they've created. Let them see themselves for what they are. I've been saying that for a while. It's like, remove the mask from this trash and show themselves for what they are, what they're really part of. Don't let them escape. Thank you in advance for what you're going to do, for the reimbursements, for what they've done, and how they've tortured and tormented people. Give me strength for whatever I'm going to go through, because I know it's going to be bad. But thank you that I didn't have to live their life. This article comes out exposing the issue with pedophilia in these agencies. Articles, documents showing patterns of pedophiles throughout these agencies. I mean, downloading child porn in the government devices. I mean, doing things to 2-year-old and 6-year-old. I mean, being shocked by the amount of child porn when they when they go through their government devices, when the superiors are going through like computers of the workers, the work computers. I am believe DARPA program manager at DARPA, they see some child porn in his computer. None of them, of course, they don't touch them. They don't mess with them, of course. The worst case scenario, they got fired, right? Nothing else. Somebody did something to a child multiple times, 2-year-old and 6-year-old just got fired. Nothing. They can't even cover up his name so you don't know who it is. He's back in the wild doing whatever he wants. Not even nothing, just fired. And this is something that's obviously a problem. Because if what this definitely more than that. One cannot be this. Oh, you think they're gonna tell all about it? No, they're gonna give a little bit of a sample size of what's happening. Oh, look, there's a few people here and there. But it's obviously there's something more to it. This is the humiliation these people have to live through. And they try to be like, oh, there's just a few people. No, it's not. For them to be so comfortable to download that much child porn on their government device, it means they don't. It's just a level of freedom. They can do whatever they want when it comes to this, as long as they don't compromise the documents. They were doing it with the utmost openness. This is not people who were trying to hide this. They're like government devices. The CIA government devices. You know how much surveillance they have on their computers. It's just it just means they so feel like they can do whatever they want to that level. That if they feel like, oh, nah, nothing's going to happen to me. The government devices. We're talking about intelligence community. I mean, downloading 1,000. So, it's funny somebody said this, that means that they just don't, that means it's just like this, not a, there's just, images, it's so rapid. It's not like they were doing oh, man, no. They're CIA, DOD, government devices. Do you know what that means? It means that there's definitely a sense of carelessness, when they do this, they can do whatever. And pedophilia is something that they don't, it's whatever. They know your child porn. Some people will even were in subscriptions of monthly subscription of child porn, paying X amount, like that. Nothing happens to these people, by the way. They know better than to mess with them. This trash, we're out here trying to make me feel this weird sensation, stimulations, and make me dream day in and day out to condition my brain in these disgusting ways, playing with my libido, doing what they're supposed to do. That's their job. That is what they're supposed to be doing. But you see how humiliating life is? And that's why I keep saying this is biblical. Because this is what I asked for. This is what I was like, do not let them live this. Let's see them for the fraudulent things that they are. In my time, the things I've seen, I don't think COVID started because of me. But I remember when it started, right before COVID. To me, it started August 19, 2019. That's when I started being isolated. I remember New Year's Eve, people were laughing at me outside. Oh, yeah, have a great year, huh? Have a great year. Laughing at me outside. I could hear them mocking me. You're going to have a great year, huh? Happy New Year. I could hear them. That was 2020. Guess what happened? Yes. It was a horrible year for everybody. People died. I was in New York. My first full year in New York. I remember they were so happy. I remember I could hear them how festive they were outside. I could hear them, have a good year. Happy New Year in 2020. Having fun. Guess what happens? Of course, people died, but everybody's isolated. People they were trying to break me down. Guess what happened? They got tested. Now, I know this COVID thing has nothing to do with me. It was going to happen regardless. But because things like that are going to happen. Listen, I understand I understand where I am in this. This is not about me. Things are going to happen. But they are orchestrating everything that's around me. My world, people I meet, whatever. They orchestrating that. I understand. But the world is bigger than me. The world does not revolve around me. I understand this. Their job is to try to make you believe that things are happening because no. Yes, they can orchestrate things. Yes, there's people that you won't know are involved in this. Yes. But you can make the mistake. You think, oh my gosh, everybody around me is like, this, the noise campaign you just heard. Yes, that's part of it. Yeah, yes, those things like that. Yes, but those are small things. The world does not revolve around me, but they're gonna try to make you think that that's the case. So I understand, but I'm saying this thing happens because it, it was supposed to happen. And I'm trying to say that I don't think COVID happened because I was there. No, it has nothing to do with me. But these people wanted to delude themselves into this fantasy. Like they were making fun of me. How you gonna have a horrible year? I'm isolated. I don't want to go out. I hate this. Whatever's happened to me. My life is just. Everybody had to stay home. Many had to die. Some people watching me. I remember going to the grocery store. Everybody was laughing at me. It's like, oh. And I remember some trash. I'm sorry but some trash was at the grocery store before COVID started. She just because people were scared, but nobody was taking it serious. She grabbed a booger from her nose, and this is, let me tell you, like, this is a clean cut. This young professional, progressive looking white woman. She looks at me. She does this. She smeared this on the shell and then walks away. And I could hear people say, oh, it's the end of the world. This is the same trash now that would be like, oh my gosh, be vaccinated, be all of this. Like, oh. But my point is, I see what's happening to me as, it's almost biblical. If you see the person who put me in this program, you will know that, oh, Jesus, he looks like the devil. You see these people involved, you see them as the first that they are. You see them try to make me accept these pedophilia things. It's like, listen, yeah, really? That's why there's so many pedophiles in these agencies. Embarrassing trash. You sold your soul to pay those. It makes sense. Who would come up with these ways of breaking people down? And try to sound fierce about it. Say, we're mean, huh? We're mean because we make you dream this way and make you feel this way, huh? Try to sound like you trash, you bottom feeder. Don't worry. Your time will come, but it's okay. Yesterday, they were trying to play with my memories with me when I just turned 13 years old. Tried to change something into something else. Because at that age, especially younger, you have like your testosterone cranked up. That's like a very bizarre time of your life when you're like 12 to 14 years old. It's like things are happening to your body as a boy. We all know that. But they tried to change my memories then to create something else. And they were playing this false memory where they create the sensation differently than what I actually experienced. It was not a sexual stimulation, it was just something else. It's when I was living in this family and they had this little girl. And I remember being on the computer. I'm 13 years old. She comes and she was like, I want to be on the computer. It's like, oh, and I looked at her. It's like, oh, she's so adorable. And I kiss her, kiss her on the cheek. You know that feeling when you see something very cute. Oh, you just kind of like, oh, just want to kiss the cheek. And, they changed that and make it feeling sexual. And gave me a sexual stimulation instead of like that feeling of, oh, you just want to kiss. But they changed that. They transferred that feeling into something in the testicle area. I'm sorry to say that, but me when I'm 13 years old, to create these nasty things. And it's pathetic, it's foul. Because I know what truly look back and feel embarrassing. It's not that. This is what they manipulate me to experience with those sensation feelings. Me when I'm 13 years old. But it's when me a year after that, when I'm 14, I just discovered myself. I just learned how to do things to myself. And I did one stupid thing to myself. And it was just, I look back, I was like, oh, Jesus, what was I thinking? But that's the age when you just kind of discover yourself a little bit. And things are just a little bit, you just like extremely like, and it's nonstop. That's why you hear like kids at that age usually do some, but this guy talks about, I was listening to this guy. He's interesting, it's somebody who lived a rough life. He used to do some bad things. He was somebody who was in the, doing things, and he found religion, and he found Christianity. He started reading the Bible, and since then has chosen to live a different life and find strength in Christianity, in the word of Jesus, and find strength in that. And they were talking about different when they were kids and everything else, and he was like, they start talking about like when you just start hitting puberty, and they literally mentioned the same thing as like when between 12 and 14, it's a real weird time for a boy, because you get like this rush of testosterone comes in, you have feelings and sensation, like it just comes like that time of your life is just like, as a kid, especially as a boy, you just things happen to your body, boom, and all of a sudden. And it's this is the case for most of us, as kids. And because I've said that before, I'm not saying something magical. I said the same thing. This is truly the reality. They just escape reality. They create their own reality. They even manipulate memories to create a false reality. And so when I hear that, they try to go back into that memory. It's like, oh, that's the testosterone things, and now you're changing it to something sexual. This is the things they do. They create memories and falsify reality, and of a child. Because you, as a 30-some-year-old man, your memories of your childhood, I mean, they can easily change that. They can give you feeling that they manipulate memories like this easily. Now, especially, oh my gosh. Even they can make me forget it, make me feel, have a different experience of a memory just like in 2018. Easily. So when it comes to like my childhood, woof, Jesus, oh my gosh, sensation, it'll be like, oh, I felt like that, yeah. And they initially, I didn't know their capability to change memories until they tried to do that when I was like an adult. I was like, oh, they're doing something in my memories. Because before I'm like, okay, I feel, because you feel like, oh, you experienced that, but you're like, that's okay, all right. You don't know they're playing with your memories, and then you realize, no, this is not how I felt. You just change it into these ways. You realize that once they do this, but in a memory that is a little bit older, you're an adult. It's like, no, that's not how I felt. I remember they were trying to make me have the same feeling when my friend, when I saw my friend's daughter. She's the adorable little cute kid. And they gave me a sexual stimulation instead of something like, just like, oh, it's like, whoa, that's not what I experienced. At that point, I knew, what you guys are going through is just, what you guys are doing to me is like, you're just manipulating my memories. You're seeing where you can implant that false memory with the sensations to make me subscribe to these things. They manipulate memories. And you hear this trash, no, it's you, they are. It's like, this sounds childlike. And it's like, oh, you are changing things around what I'm experiencing in my memories. How I experience my memories are no longer mine. You add stimulations, you add sensations that were not experienced that way. And that's what they do. And imagine experiencing that when you were a child of 13 years old. Being manipulated to have a memory of that nature. Sensation changed. That's what they do. So now they try to go back and change that. And the reason why now I'm so sure that they manipulate is because obviously I don't have said that, but I was like, no, I know something is off about this memory. The day that was triggered, when I truly understood that they can manipulate memories, is when they make me think about my friend's daughter and gave me that stimulation. And you know my friend would do? He was a perp. At this point, everybody becomes perps. He'll start calling me when they give me this reaction about his daughter to make me feel nervous about what I just experienced, or to feel guilty for this false memory. He would call me at the time. He would give me a call. It's like, what? Oh my gosh. And you'd be like, oh my God, he just saw that he's involved. No. That was part of the manipulation. That's when I knew, it's like, oh, this trash. He'll call me every time they make me have this stimulation about his little baby. I know it's falsified. But that's how they can make me experience my memories. And this is me when I'm like 22 or so. And I was like, yeah, this definitely falsified. I know. I'm never gonna have my memory the same way, but I know it's falsified. Nope. This is how you do it. Because what they try to do is create a pattern. Because what's happening is today they make me experience these feelings. And because today they make me feel these feelings, what they're trying to do is find where they can implant these sensations to say, oh, no, you felt like this that day, remember? That's you. It's falsified. So to all my target individuals, do not subscribe to these false memories. Do not subscribe to this nastiness. These people will be humiliated the right way. Me, they're going to torture me. I've accepted that. It's not humiliation, it's torture. Humiliation is what they're going to experience. Out here try to play your God, you're embarrassing. You work for pedophiles, you try to force people to have false memories. Everything I said, even my memory manipulation. Yes. Somebody literally said that in 2007, they implant information and bring it back up as if it's your memory. In 2007, 2023, what do you think they can do now? Till my target individuals, stay strong.